Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin Show. Today is September the 22nd, 2018. Strong hand. Long-term thinking, unconfiscatable. Bitcoin is next Bitcoin. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Deferral of gratification. Hey, check out the links below, disruptmeister.com. Yesterday's This Week in Bitcoin show was excellent. A lot of technical discussions for all you tech heads. They were really enjoying it. You can follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Hey, and you can get a shirt just like this or a Trezor Ledger Nano at the links below, especially Trezor. We talked about Trezor in yesterday's show. So this is a Beyond Bitcoin show, so we're going to go beyond just talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but we'll mention it a little bit. And so I'm in Santiago, Chile. I've been here now for over a day. And I was here 10 years ago also. One of the first places I used my second passport. I had a passport when I was younger, and then it expires after 10 years. And then I got a new one. And it actually was one of the last places I used my old passport on. But on my old passport, I only traveled to like Israel when I was young, and then to South America once. Now, this passport I currently have, it's almost filled. But anyway, I didn't mean to even say all that. I've been to Santiago before, but now as an adult with a lot more experience than the previous, I see that this so far, the low cost of living, the pleasant weather. Again, today was the first day of spring down here. It's pretty safe. It's a good place, and it's for people out there who are like, well, Adam, how do you do it? How do you do the minimalist lifestyle? You travel all around. And this is a place that you guys should check out for your first or second outside of America stop, Santiago, Chile. Again, this entire trip is costing me a little over $3,000. That includes 2 months in my very own apartment with a doorman downstairs. It's a nice apartment in a nice part of Santiago, and the round trip plane ticket from Baltimore, okay? And so a lot of you live closer to Santiago than Baltimore. A lot of you live further, but whatever. The point is this. If you got $3,000 and you have 2 months that you can run your own business or just not work at all, you can come down here and do it for it's a little over $3,000 or whatever. Even $4,000 would be a great deal. $2,000 a month for everything. Well, look, we can get into what everything is another time. But so the point is that Santiago, great quality of life so far. And again, Spanish. They're speaking Spanish. You're pretty good just knowing English. I mean, a lot of you know Spanish anyway. But it's better than like going to Thailand for your first, outside United States trip or outside of North America trip or wherever, outside of Europe, if you're from Europe trip. I mean, this is not a developing country. This is the wealthiest country in South America, okay? Chile is the wealthiest country in South America. And I've been to Uruguay and Argentina, which are basically the second and third wealthiest countries in South America. And it's better than them. Yeah, it's not having economic issues like Argentina is right now at all, Chile. And Uruguay, I love Uruguay, but anyway, again, this is a great place. Also, Uruguay is a fine place to check out for your first visit ever, but cost of living, some things aren't as cheap there. And Chile, Santiago's good. Maybe after a few more days, I'll change my mind. I don't think so. Chile it's well known for being the best country in South America in terms of. Don't worry about brothers in Venezuela and Colombia and everywhere. You guys are cool, but I'm talking about the best country in terms of just ease of lifestyle, dudes. I'm talking from the American perspective. I've been American my whole life, okay? I know how they can't take certain things. They're not good travelers either. So this is a good first step to becoming a perpetual traveler if you want to be one. So also people have asked me, Adam, are you jet lagged? No, I'm not jet lagged because there's only an hour time difference. It would be like me traveling to Puerto Rico or Newfoundland, I believe is an hour. Again, so right now here it's 9 o'clock. So in Baltimore, it's 8 o'clock at night. Now, what does happen a lot of times, I take red-eye flights. So well, it became a red-eye. I left Baltimore at, what was it, like 5:30 or 5, and it got to Atlanta. And so in Atlanta, I had to take a flight at about, what was it, 10 o'clock? Or maybe I left Baltimore at 7. It doesn't matter. Leaving Atlanta at 10 o'clock to Santiago, you have to sleep on the plane, basically. So you're on a plane for 10 hours. I think it's 10 hours. I am used to that by now. But again, I watched both of the Star Wars movies that just recently came out. Oh my God, the social justice. What's up with that Asian girl in the Jedi, the Last Jedi? Really annoying. Oh God, what has happened to those movies? I mean, some of the things I liked about them, but again, and I'm seeing that the movies are free. I don't go to movie theaters. I watch movies when I'm on these going from continent to continent. Whenever again, it's an expensive plane ticket. Or it's a costly plane ticket. I mean, it's not like a $200 plane ticket. And so you better get some nice things for that. But what I'm saying is, again, this is, instead of going to the movies, like a lot of you do, paying $10 for a movie. No, I watch a bunch of movies on these. And, some of the movies you fall asleep on because they're not the greatest of movies and you're tired. So so I only slept, 2-3 hours on the plane, if that. And then you got to get to your place and everything. And then I had to do This Week in Bitcoin yesterday. So you end up, I was tired. I was tired after This Week in Bitcoin. I slept like a freaking log last night on that nice bed in that over there. And again, this is a 1-bedroom, but who cares if it's a 1-bedroom or a freaking studio? It doesn't matter. Remember that, people. Don't pay more just to get a 1-bedroom. This was the best deal I could get. And that's the Airbnbs in Santiago, a lot of great deals. Again, I'm recommending Santiago although I think the cheapest Airbnbs are in Johannesburg, but there's a catch to that in Johannesburg. Obviously, it's not as safe as Santiago at all. I see JC is in the chat, so just seeing your face there, dude, reminded me of that the cheapest Airbnb. And yeah, low cost of living in Johannesburg, but there's a catch. But here that catch, it's not like that here. It's safe here. People don't have huge electric wires around their houses. And also, there's beautiful scenery here. You can see the snow-capped mountains. Oh, it's nice. Beautiful scenery in Johannesburg also, but yeah, everybody comes back. No one's out like after 7 o'clock without like security. I mean, the supermarkets in Johannesburg, literally, they were like shutting down at 7 p.m. It was like, what the heck? Here, I'll go outside at 10 p.m. The things will still be open and everything. Okay, I've really rambled on too much. But this is the Beyond Bitcoin show, so you want to hear about that. So no, I don't have jet lag, but you do get when you take those night flights, because the night flights are cheaper. But you end up tired the next day. Now, I ran today. I'm fine now. And I'm back. I'm totally back. I'm not tired because, again, it's only an hour difference. You can have, when I went from Darwin, Australia, and I had a layover in Singapore, and then I ended up in, I ended up in Johannesburg. Yeah, I probably had jet lag then a little. Like it still felt like it was the time it was in Darwin. And I think a little, I think there's something inside of everyone that, well, with me, I always have my watch that has Eastern time on it still. So there's always a little bit of me that's stuck in Baltimore still. There's always a little bit of me. So like, I don't know, it's difficult to explain. So when you're only a few hours off from Baltimore, you're good. If you're from Baltimore, if you're me. Okay, enough about jet lag. And if people do ask about those type of things, don't worry about jet lag, people. Don't let that hold you back from traveling around the world, please. You'll be tired again. And then and to save money, go on those night flights and learn how to sleep on a plane. Again, you don't get a good night's sleep on a plane. You can make up for it. Do otherwise get a good night's sleep. That is important for health. Try to get 8 hours of sleep every night. But, one night every once in a while. And again, I don't eat on days that I travel or before I travel. Don't eat. That's a good time to practice your intermittent fasting. So I had a 42-hour fast Also just the other day, because I was not going to eat before I go on a 12-hour flight. And of course I don't eat on the flight. I drink water. I mean, everyone's pigging out on the flight. It's just, I don't even know how they can eat it. And it's all horrible food with preservatives up the yin yang in it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, so I wanted to bring up boredom. A lot of people get bored. If you get bored easily, I mean, it's okay to, I guess, get bored every once in a while. But if you're getting bored all the time, you're a boring person. You got to read more. You got to explore. You got to learn about more things. I mean, get into more topics. Diversify your knowledge base. I don't think a lot of people watching this show get bored. I don't think maybe anyone watching the show gets bored easily, because to already be on YouTube. But some people on maybe some of my other shows, they're like, "Why are you talking about Litecoin? Well, it's on your shirt. Why are you talking about it?" And again, it's beyond Bitcoin. I mean, it's the one Bitcoin show. I'm not going to talk about Litecoin. I'm bored if you're not talking about altcoins. Okay, you know what? You got to diversify your knowledge base a little bit. Bitcoin is a tremendous thing. It's not just for granddads or whatever. But going into other topics, I mean, there's other. I mean, not everyone can be super duper intelligent, but people can be well-rounded. They can know things beyond their base subjects, beyond their job. And I think a lot of people just want mindless entertainment, or else they get bored with stuff that involves using their brain. So use your brain more, get used to using your brain more, and you're not going to get bored by thought-provoking topics. It sounds pathetic to me that people get bored. I got a hair on my face here. People get bored by thought-provoking topics. Learn to enjoy thought-provoking topics. If you're a boring person if you can't enjoy thought-provoking discussion. All right. So the one crypto topic I wanted to bring up today, well, there'll be another one. I'm going to talk about more tomorrow, is that DLive uses Steam, but now they're switching to Lino, Lino. So yeah, some people are pretty upset with DLive. I'm going to keep doing, I'm going to keep posting again, you can watch this live on Steemit right now. I post all my videos to Steemit. I occasionally do a DLive one because I was earning Steam, which of course I don't buy Steam. You get Steam, you turn into Bitcoin. So I don't know much about this Lino, it's Lino platform. I don't know much about it. Some people are saying it's more decentralized than Steam. I mean, in the end of the day, there's really going to have to be some almost totally decentralized video platform one of these days, and we're getting closer. I'll still do DLive. If I don't know if you can even earn Lino coins yet. I don't know the whole thing behind Lino. But if DLive is as easy as it's been, I'll continue to upload some things there and earn Lino and report back to you. If I get this Lino, I can turn it into Bitcoin easily. If I can't, then I won't really use DLive anymore, because I want to be able to turn whatever I'm earning in cryptocurrency from my videos into Bitcoin as easily as possible. So, there's a lot of people on Steemit getting angry apparently, and so I mean that shows us a close-knit community on Steemit. That's good for Steemit. And again, don't buy these coins. Just earn them for free. And again, content creators, diversify. Just don't post on YouTube. We're going to get into that in a second. And so I'm going to tie in a lot of things right now. This show that I'm doing, this is my 25th Beyond Bitcoin show. And so Saturday night is not a popular night for people watching YouTube. A lot of people like to go out and party. I mean, I can't lie. I valued my wealth in women for a big part of my adult life. And I was partying like a rock star every single Saturday. Man, I got stories for you, but they're just stories now. They're fleeting. They're fleeting, and there's much more to life. There is much, much more to life than partying and womanizing and all of that stuff. That do not put them. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Better yourself. But so this is a special audience that watches this show. That being said, I love these I love personal responsibility as a new counterculture. I love value your wealth in Bitcoin. And of course, I tie that through these themes through all of my shows. And I think that makes this a unique cryptocurrency channel, some of the things that I say. And that I tie in, MGTOW things. And I'm not, again, I can say whatever I want to say because I can't get fired. I can talk because I work for myself. And that's the whole point of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin overlay. And minimalism I talk about. And so what I'm thinking of is eventually ending this show, but starting a spin-off channel that will just be dedicated to those broader subject matters and really getting into more of what's on my mind. And just only 5 shows a week. It would be a channel. I would not do it on Friday nights and Saturday nights, or actually again, I've thought this out. And again, I talked about how I really admired Vention MGTOW, because his channel is about MGTOWs, okay? But he talks about Bitcoin. So his channel is a way to reach out to Bitcoin people. He uses it that way. So if I have another channel that's talking about non-Bitcoin stuff mostly, but then it's a way to reach out to a bigger community, the people who are interested in becoming more self-sufficient, into traveling, into minimalism, into personal responsibility as a new counterculture, reaching out to them and then saying, hey, Bitcoin connects all of the dots here. So you're interested. So I want to practice what I'm preaching. I said on my show the other day that more people that deal with more content creators that deal with other subject matters should be reaching out to Bitcoin people. Well, maybe I'll create a new channel that deals with other subject matters that will reach out to Bitcoin people, that will reach out to people, that will reach out to teach people about Bitcoin is what I mean. Sorry. If you've got a channel that talks about another subject matter, you should also bring up Bitcoin on it. And that's what I will do, because it will get those people interested in those subject matters into Bitcoin. Okay, speaking of, and pound that freaking like button, people, if you're liking this. So yeah, I am trying to do a spin-off channel. I feel like this environment, this next 2 months in Santiago, I'm going to have some more free time. Hopefully, it seems to be relaxing and everything. So hopefully, I'll get the time to do it, and I should manage my time better. That should be a Rosh Hashanah, New Year's resolution, right? Because Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year that we just had. And Vention MGTOW is actually watching the show right now. He just sent $5 in the super chat. Thank you. He says, exactly. The more connections we make, the better. Exactly, Vention. You understand it. You freaking stand it. And even at his job, which I think he should quit his darn job, but he tries to tell the fellow mechanics about he tells them about Bitcoin. And that's great. That's because they might have never heard about it any other way. Even they should. They're men. They should find out about it. But whatever. Then maybe they don't have the time for it. They're married, some of them, he says, and some of them are divorced too. So they've got a lot of things to deal with. But no, Vention actually has a whole plan. So I say he knows himself better than I darn do. I'm telling him not to work anymore. He's got it all planned out, how much he's going to earn and how many more years he's got to work there and everything. But I know it hurts, doing that mechanic stuff, you can get hurt, and he's got his Bitcoin, but he wants more Bitcoin, and he values his wealth in Bitcoin. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, I just I love this independent lifestyle so darn much. And then you got to come down here to Santiago, man. It's easy to get from Washington State down here. I think you'd only have to stop in LA probably, and you'll like the culture here better than you did in Southeast Asia. That was a huge first step for you, man. And that's the thing. Vention went to Southeast Asia first. And it was just too much for him. It's too much for him. And it's going to be too much for a lot of darn people. You barf from drinking the water, or you have diarrhea. Here, I'm drinking the water all the time, right out of that faucet. It doesn't matter. I got some bottled water too. But no, you don't. Again, that's about traveling. Some countries you travel to, you drink the water, it goes straight out of you in a bad way. Here, no. I don't travel to countries where if you drink the water, you get sick. I had Mozambique, don't drink the water. Yes, I've been there before. That's the one. And Brazil, yeah, don't drink. Yeah, I was in Brazil. Don't drink the water. No, don't drink the in Rio. No. Someone's going to probably tell me, Adam, you shouldn't be drinking the water in Santiago. It's fine, dude. No, it's fine. Okay, so Veritas, what's his name over at Veritas? James O'Keefe. I told you last week he was going to come out with these deep state exposure videos. and they've been good. They've been pretty good. They've been pretty funny in the sense that he's discovered all of these lazy bureaucrats who shouldn't even have jobs. Their jobs are totally useless, and they're proving it because they're all day long they're doing Democrat, Socialist of America work, whatever that ridiculous party is. And one of the guys is like, yeah, I'm a communist, and I work for the United States government, and I really don't work for them. I'm just collecting a paycheck, and I'm doing all these communist related activities or socialist, whatever. And he's going to get fired. I'm glad he's exposing this. Is there a grand conspiracy within the bureaucracy to take down the government? I'm more concerned about how many useless government workers there are and how there's a gun to my head for me to pay taxes so they can steal from me. And so the more of them that get fired, the better. So this is going to lead to some firing. But most of them aren't even most of the government workers that do nothing all day aren't as intelligent as these people are. Okay, they don't know. Most government workers are just picking their nose all day. They're not like working on communist and socialist ways to try to their wet dreams to freaking overthrow the government or whatever. I mean, there's such status that they got to work for the state, and then they got to dream of ways of overthrowing the state to get a more authoritarian regime in. Just as an independent-minded person, that's kind of people that I don't even want to talk about them anymore, to tell you the truth. But I love that James O'Keefe is exposing them. And again, collectivism is the default in life. These people are just default people. And you can be intelligent and be a communist and be a socialist. And unfortunately, I'm not saying that they're morons. I'm just saying they're just going to they're not individualists at all. And they're control freaks. And I'm glad they're being exposed. And the more useless bureaucrats that can be fired from every government, the better. The smaller the government, the better. Because again, there's a gun to all of our heads to pay our taxes to fund this nonsense. And so maybe our taxes will go down the more and more of them that are fired. I can dream, can I? And again, I'm in the Bitcoin overlay, so I don't really, the politics, let them all argue. Let them, the more time that's wasted in of them arguing about the most ridiculous things in the world. Oh, did you touch a woman in 1982? Okay, let them argue about it. I mean, at least they're not finding out new ways to tax and steal from me or whatever. The narratives that are out there right now that they can just distract you, all the noise that can distract you from doing productive things in life, from learning, from getting into Bitcoin, from traveling, expanding, so you don't get bored. So most people are trained to be bored by thought-provoking stuff, but they get all aroused by wondering, oh, did he touch a woman in 1982? Or what happened in 1982? I mean, with that affair, or someone just got their boobs done. I mean, just the things that people care about now, they're trained to care because they're all collectivists. But again, they can do what they want. They can do what they want to do. I'm just encouraging people to use your brains, come into this Bitcoin overlay with me. And yeah, I'll talk more about that on that new channel one of these days. So speaking about intelligent people and people who are coming up with great ideas and definitely don't care about boob jobs very much and boobies. This guy actually, I think he might be homosexual also. Peter Thiel, is he gay? I don't even know now. I forget. I don't want to like say he is and then he's not gay. But he's a smart dude. And he was on the Dave Rubin show. Now, Dave Rubin is gay. But who cares about the gay thing? What Peter Thiel on this show, and it's linked to below, everything again, the Veritas videos, I linked to that. James O'Keefe is linked to below. And Peter Thiel being on this show. And this is a long show. It was, 2.5 hour interview Dave Rubin did of Peter Thiel. It is excellent. It is thought-provoking. He talks about, he likes cryptocurrency, and I kind of knew that already. He just has all sorts of ideas, seasteading stuff. Now, at the hour and 53 mark, now, again, if you're impatient, and I understand if you don't have time to watch a 2.5 hour video, of course, but go to the 1 hour and 53 mark, and he's talking about cryptocurrencies and AI, okay? And he says that there are a lot of authoritarian people. The libertarians like crypto because it's decentralized, but authoritarians of the Chinese style, at least, love AI, or they love Chinese, excuse me, authoritarians, no matter what style they are, like the Chinese version of AI, a really smart computer that lets a few humans control all the rest. Okay, so crypto is libertarian. The Chinese government, they're not into crypto. They're not into no. They might be into, maybe they can make money off of it, but they don't want their people to have that kind of decentralized freedom. Okay, they're very authoritarian, and so he kind of sees a crypto versus AI dichotomy, a more set in the future, a more centralized future versus a decentralized future. And Dave Rubin said that, okay, there's two different futures. Half will be crypto and half will be this AI fan, this Chinese AI type of thing. And I say, no. And then he said, well, Peter Thiel said, well, one might win out or something. I say that it'll probably be 20-80. 80% of the people won't care about it. If AI brings them all the comfort, and artificial intelligence could bring all sorts of comfort, but there could be all sorts of cost also if it's used in this Chinese authoritarian style, where you give up all your information to the AI, and the AI figures out the most perfect scenario for you, where you get a universal basic income. But it controls your whole life basically and knows everything about you. And of course, if you do one thing wrong, it turns you off, and that's not too fun. But again, most people, cryptocurrency does not guarantee a universal basic income at all. Cryptocurrency is all about personal responsibility is the new counterculture. And that's why I say 20%. It's the 80-20 rule. It's the counterculture, the people who are into crypto, the people who understand the personal responsibility. Most people would love to have a smart computer do everything for them, pay them to do nothing all day, and they have all these trinkets, big screen TVs, and they don't have to think, and the government knows everything about them, and they'll follow the rules. They'll follow all the rules of the authoritarian government. So that was really thought-provoking, and it gave me a new outlook on the direction AI could go. It gave me a new outlook on the 2080, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Again, I'm not giving all my information to any AI. I'm keeping a close eye on how AI develops. And again, I think the Chinese are going to develop their own AI, okay? China is going to get a lot more authoritarian. They might get a lot richer too. And the 80%ers over there will be very, very happy with their universal basic income and everything. And again, you people out there who try to glorify universal basic income to you, right now the cost is taxing all the producers. Now in the future, maybe AI will figure out some way that it will just inflate the money supply in a way and give the 80%ers all this type of comfort that they just won't realize what the heck is going on. Okay. So, and then us 20%ers, we won't get taxed. So we'll be happy too, I guess. And we'll be smart enough to flee the areas controlled by that massive AI control grid. Again, I'm not saying all this is going to happen. I'm keeping an eye on it. I continue to stay in the Bitcoin overlay. And I continue, as long as I believe strongly that as long as I value personal responsibilities, as long as I keep myself in a position where I can't be turned off by a government, by a boss or anything, I'm fine. And the more independent you get. But again, collectivism is the default. Individualism is something you strive for. It is something you have to think about and achieve, is the achievement, individual. And this is just another example of that. Wow. I really just talked about that for a while, but I think it's important. I think it is. It does deal with so much that we talk about. So yeah, I linked to that video. And something funny that Peter Thiel said, I never thought. He talked about Los Angeles being decentralized and how he likes it there because it is decentralized. And I never really thought of it that way. If you come to Los Angeles, and I enjoy Los Angeles, and I think that is part of the reason why, or this is part of the reason why, what I'm going to say is, if you come to Los Angeles to be mainstream famous, like so many people in LA want to be, so many people in LA want to be mainstream famous and go out there, you're going to end up disappointed, and you're going to not have the greatest take. You're going to be bitter because not everybody ends up mainstream famous at all, okay? And there's so much the entire mainstream entertainment industry is based in LA. A lot of media is based in LA. It's so superficial. So, but how about this? If you go to LA and you don't want to be if you want to be mainstream anonymous, then it can be pretty darn fun. I gotta say, my times in LA, it's fun. I have a fun time. I love it. You're very anonymous. There's all sorts of craziness that goes on, and you can just be an observer of all the madness that goes on. And there are like some libertarian-minded people that are out there now, like Ben Shapiro's grew up there and everything. But it is a decentralized area, and if you have the right take on it, I mean, it isn't as expensive it's not as expensive as San Francisco. But again, that's he says it better than I do. But LA is not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. But you do have to have a certain confidence in yourself and not be there for because again, most people do. And if you're in that horrible, sickening rat race where you have to sleep with, Harvey, or God forbid, you're a man and you have to give up to a guy to move up in the acting world. I mean, that's a nightmare beyond something I can even comprehend there. But again, if you're not in that scene, it's great. It's nice weather, and who knows what might develop. That it is decentralized. There's a lot of craziness out. There's a lot of interesting. You can speak your mind out there under certain circumstances. Definitely. I mean, when I'm out there, I'm doing all my. I still do the same videos every single day that I do wherever I am in the world. When I'm in LA, and and there's our crypto dudes in LA. I mean, Anders is out in LA in Century City, and of course, one of our, I'm not going to say his name, but someone that we're all thinking about, a big crypto fan, is out in LA. He does have he's a real man. He's a real good guy. And I do think of him often when I think about LA crypto guys, and he had a brain operation to remove a tumor. So we are definitely thinking about him, even though none of you know his name. Think good thoughts, because our crypto doesn't save you. Things can happen. You can get sick still and everything. You can get sick still, and so not everyone will see the 2036 halving or whatever. But it just shows you, make the most of what you got right now. And this dude that I'm talking about, who's a little ill because he had a brain operation to get a tumor out, he definitely makes the most of his time. He definitely makes the most of his time. He's still into crypto and everything like that. But again, people always, life is fleeting. Life can be, it can end at any moment. And, so try to maximize it, stay as healthy as possible. Okay. So many LA stories out there, dude. There are some characters out there. And I'm not glorifying the sickening aspects of it. I'm glorifying the decentralized aspects of it. Okay. So speaking of the world going in two different directions, here's an article by CNBC. Eric Schmidt, ex-Google CEO, predicts internet split. Former Google CEO predicts the internet will split into two, and one part will be led by China. So here we go again. China comes to your country, and they build your African country this awesome road infrastructure, and they lend you money. And and guess what? China will build you an awesome internet infrastructure too. You know what? Sometimes in South Africa, even when I was at Lauren Gamarel's house, the internet got a little slow once. And China, I'm sure they would gladly upgrade South Africa's internet, make it the highest speed in the world for a cost, for it to be censored, for it to be centralized. So, so African dictators or dictators all over the world, they'll make some deals with that. That would be their grandest dream. Now they're dissidents. They can't even speak out on the internet. China will give them fast internet and give them the ability to censor it the Chinese style. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that there are two different types of internets out there in the world. A free one that, where America or the Western world is the leader, where there won't be this just tremendous, China has a technology and the skill and the infrastructure to build their own web, which they can have shutoffs on, and using artificial intelligence to turn people off or to erase things immediately. I mean, the technology that is going to be developing in the next 10 years, I'm so excited about it. But again, there are dark sides to it too. And again, a lot of people, a lot of vicious sociopath leaders will love this type of stuff. And so, yeah, it is unfortunate. If you are in one of these African countries that deals with China a lot, and you think it's a good thing, there's a price for everything. And this is just another potential price that's out there. So that CNBC article made me think about that. They didn't really get into the African leaders being, they did mention how, China is building has infrastructure projects all over the world. So again, you can opt out of this thing. You don't have to live in a country that has controlled by China, or that China is. And again, maybe China won't do this. Maybe they won't. But I mean, they have like social scores now for their citizens, and sure, some of these African countries are probably going to visibly look a lot better the more and more control they give over to China. But in terms of freedom of speech, oh man, it'll probably go down the toilet real quick. But hey, if you're just a person visiting the country, it'll probably be a lot safer for you, and you'll be able to buy all nice, but that's not, again, the people who live in these countries, it's your personal responsibility either to get out or to like cut this off before it happens. Us, the people who are in the Bitcoin overlay, we can travel anywhere we want to and just see it firsthand and report back. And you can call that privilege if you want to. I guess it is. But I worked hard to get this privilege. I mean, I wasn't sitting on my butt crying all day. I was buying Bitcoin, and I was in motion. If you're in motion, you're gonna end up being called privilege. Okay, and that is awesome. Call me privilege. Go ahead, make my freaking day, dude. It means if you're using it as something to try to put me down, you're bitter and jealous. I would assume you should strive to be in a position to be privileged. Okay, I mean, you should have the ability to live wherever you want to live, and to get out at a moment's notice with all your wealth. It's quite a feeling. Okay, this show is really going on now. What do we got here? All right, pound that like button, people. So what do we have here? Progressive attack on YouTube political sphere. This is a video from Sargon of Akkad. Dissident political voice. Okay, there's some dissident political voices, we can call them out there. I mention them a lot. And again, let's not even use the word politics. Dissident thinking voices like Stefan Molyneux, like Ben Shapiro, like, Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson. Okay, so there's a report out there by, what's this, the Data Society. I linked to the report. And basically, they're saying that all of these alternative voices on the internet are leading people to white nationalism, or to just bad, the what's it called, the alt-right, to that one guy. Who's that alt-right dude? I don't even know. He's ridiculous guy. But they don't even have, so it's like this 6 degrees of separation. And they say that Ben Shapiro is connected to the alt-right. An Orthodox Jewish man is connected to that's how they have all these charts. It's a big report, and it lists all these people. It's like and so it's encouraging YouTube to censor these people. And again, YouTube is a private company. They can censor whoever they want to. But it's trying to create this list of outcasts. And I think you should all see the outcasts. Now, I don't agree with all these outcasts, but I think this report will help some of them, as I hadn't heard of all of them, will help get some of them notoriety. But again, this is all about control, censorship, stuff we've been talking about through this whole video. And maybe one day YouTube will have that artificial intelligence that, if you're somehow connected to Ben Shapiro, you'll be demonetized. I mean, if the chart is ridiculous. It just shows it's 6 degrees of, you can do 6 degrees of separation with anyone, and then say, well, you didn't have that person on your show, but because someone that you had on your show had that person on your show, that means you're a criminal. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But Sargon has a good video about it. Stefan Molyneux has a good video about it. And those are both linked to below. All of the people on this list, in this report, in this big chart, here's my recommendation, okay? Just don't put all your marbles into Bitcoin, okay? Don't bet it all, not on Bitcoin, excuse me, on YouTube. What I was going to say is don't rely on YouTube for everything. Get into Bitcoin now. Get into some of these supposed decentralized platforms now. List a Bitcoin address on your videos now, so people get used to contributing to you in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, okay? But don't just sit there and wait to be demonetized, or wait to be or wait for YouTube to kick you off, okay? Because this report, again, the people behind this report, obviously, I mean, they don't fully get it, that they're just, maybe they do, maybe they're just that much of control freaks. But if you were mentioned in this report, and Stefan Molyneux, he's in great shape. He's one of the best out there among these people who's really gotten into Bitcoin and crypto. Ben Shapiro, dude, you should. Well, Ben Shapiro, you should get into crypto more, dude. And other people on that list, even people on that list that I don't like or don't know. Okay, so that's all linked below. It's an interesting report, and Molyneux and Sargon of Akkad. And I don't necessarily like Sargon of Akkad. I don't even watch. I've only seen a few of his things. But again, James O'Keefe, who I like, is on that chart. It's like they try to connect. So it's ridiculous. And yeah, again, there are people who love the control grid. There are people who just love that type of stuff. And we're the decentralized people. So, and we're the thought-provoking people. So again, if you're provoking thoughts, get yourself more decentralized. Don't rely on YouTube, dudes. All right. Speaking of YouTube, and I've mentioned this on two of my shows, I just want to say it real fast. MGTOW Money has a great video about the 1,499 iPhone, and that how everybody, it's a dopamine hit to get the latest and greatest thing, justifies that price, that you should be investing instead of buying trinkets that lose value immediately, that you get stuck in this upgrade cycle because you're an 80%er and you're used to this throwaway society where you just keep upgrading to fit in, and you have to keep on getting, and you're satisfied with non-assets, and you're satisfied. I mean, you're just not planning at all. You're just a short-term adrenaline hits, short-term dopamine hits, excuse me. So it's a good video for all you people who are trying to be long-term thinkers and who want to get out of that 80% mentality, and that, and again, some of you who have tried to diversify into other cryptos, because you have that, you need an upgrade to Bitcoin. And Daniel, 21 Million Club, pointed this out to me. The only upgrade to Bitcoin is getting more Bitcoin. All right. But again, there's so many people out there, they can't even have the same car for 2 years. They have to have the latest and greatest car also. That's worse than the iPhone. Those people are getting into such debt, just getting more and more, having to get the latest and greatest new car. And then they wonder why, Adam, how do you travel around? How do you live a minimalist lifestyle? It's because I am not ridiculous. I'm not in this upgrade cycle. I'm not in a throwaway society. I don't live that way. I mean, if I got something, I'd make it last. And then you save, and then you buy into things that will make you very independent, like Bitcoin. Again, it's not like I didn't get lucked out to become privileged or whatever. No, I grew up in a middle-class house in Baltimore County, and I used what was up here, and I tried to learn, and I tried to go outside the box. I watched videos. I mean, I went to traditional college also, of course. But again, the background that I have, many people are familiar, Jewish people are very much into education. Asian people and Jewish people in America that's the stereotype. You all got to send your kids to great colleges. I mean, yeah, that is like the goal. That's what's like pounded into your head. You must do well in school. You must do well in school. You must go to the best college possible, type of thing. And, some parents are harder on their kids than others. Mine are pretty cool to me about it, but still, I knew that, I naturally just wanted to get into the best school possible, get the best scores possible. But at the same time, that in motion way of my life, I was able to go. I was always outside the box thinker too, so I was always trying to learn other ways. And I just found the internet came along at the right time, right? I wasn't born in 1899 or anything like that, so. Yeah, it's I was just a fan of the internet, and I learned outside the box, and that's how I became the person I am today. Just always trying to increase my knowledge base, whether it be through the traditional means originally. When you're when you're 17, you are kind of still you're stuck in a. I mean, you're still your parents' child then. You're 16, I took all the SATs, but when I was 16 and everything like that. So and I did start college when I was 17, but anyway, enough about that. Anyone watching this video, you're probably not under 18, you're probably not under 22 either. So just don't become a person who gets bored easily. Let's go back to the top of the show here. All right. Here's something. Here's a good one. Having the self-belief that you will be able to figure things out as you go along is critical to success at anything hard. Get started and trust yourself. No one has all the answers at the beginning. Well, this is a really good tie-in here. I didn't even mean it to be a tie-in. I've always known that I will be able to figure things out as I go along. I have always, since I was a child, basically, I knew that I could figure things out as I went along. Now, again, it is good to plan, but again, having the self-belief that you will be able to figure things out as you go along is critical to success at anything hard. Getting started and trust yourself. So yeah, no one has all the answers at the beginning. So just get into more and more things and know that, yeah, I can handle this. I'll be able to handle this. I'm going to have to learn a little bit, but I'll be able to handle this. Because if you're scared, you're like, I don't know enough. I won't get into that. You're not going to get into stuff, and you're just going to be left behind. Again, Bitcoin in 2013 was highly, I found out about it in 2011, and it was highly technical. But, and that could have freaked me out and everything. And I think for a while, maybe a little bit, there were some freaky out. But in 2013, it didn't freak me out, but still it was hard. And I was like, no, I'm getting into this thing. I'm getting my first 2 Bitcoin, and I know I'll be able to figure this thing out. I had the self-confidence to do it. So it's just, this is a good tweet. I retweeted it. So you can check, it's linked below. Stefan Molyneux reminds, by the way, Charlton sent $1.99. Thanks for the show. Think long term. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Think long term. No, I'm not going to do this, Stefan Molyneux. We'll talk about anarchy next time because I already mentioned Molyneux. We're running out of time here. I want to get out of here soon. Here's something from, I keep seeing for some reason, there's a movie called White Boy Rick. It keeps getting thrown in front of my face on YouTube. And it's about like this white 14-year-old drug dealer from Detroit in 1984. Okay. And they keep playing this Donna Summer song in the background. And it's a cool song. It gets you pumped up for the movie and probably makes people want to see the movie. The song is from 1977, okay? And it's just ridiculous to play a disco song. It was 1977. You can look back clearly and see that 1977, that disco era was very short. It was what, 1977, 78, and 79? Was a very short little era in pop culture, or in even, mainstream, whatever you want to say. Totally different than 1984. So that's a little pet peeve of mine. When they're pumping this movie about 1984 Detroit with a song from 1977, and there's no way that when these drug dealers in the movie were going to clubs in Detroit that they were playing Donna Summer 1977 song in 1984. By that time, Run DMC was already on the scene, I believe. Or there were rap. It was, anyway, it was different. It was a different era, totally different era. And I hope they mentioned the Tigers winning the World Series. I think I'm not going to see the movie unless I on some flight or something like that. But yeah, as you can tell, people, Adam knows just wild, odd things about years. I'm very good with years, like years I didn't live in and everything. I could tell you, I know when I meet a person, I can remember what year they were born in. I mean, it's, again, I can tell you all the, I'm not going to dox anyone, but I'm pretty sure I know when Tone was born. I know when Vinny was born. I know when King of the Trolls was born. I know when Andy Hoffman was born. I know, you tell me one thing, I don't forget it with these years and stuff. So like, I know all the World Series winners since 1956. That's why I can mention, 1984, I know the Tigers won, 1983, the Orioles won, 1985, the Royals won, 1982, the Cardinals won, and it doesn't matter. You don't want to hear about world. Again, some of that stuff is useless, but again, I'm good with numbers, and but it is good. I mean, it's good to know how society evolves over time, and to be familiar with different eras, at least, to know the difference between 1997 and 2002. I mean, there's a tremendous difference. 2002 is right after 9/11. 1997 is like, ooh, .com boom, dude. Let's Clinton's president. It's just different eras, and you can engage in, you can build from there when you're engaging in conversation with people, and you can. Anyway, enough. I'm not going to. Why get into my head? People don't need to know the way I associate numbers and eras and all that. Finally, here, 30. This is from Jess Norton 82, and something like that. When like a screen name like that on Twitter immediately makes me think Jess Norton 82. She's probably born in 1982. She's probably born in 1982, the year the Cardinals won the World Series. But anyway, it's just the way. So she said 39.6% of U.S. adults meet the criteria for obesity. Ooh, the highest reported percentage yet. Obesity costs an extra $149 billion annually in direct healthcare spending and another $66 billion in lost productivity. The body positivity movement is not without consequences. It's a very good point. Nothing's free. Okay. All right. You're telling all these people, oh, it's all right, you're out of shape. Oh, it's all right, you should be proud of your flabby body. Well, it's going to cost them a lot of money in the long term. In the short term, sure, they're going to get a little dopamine hit, as you said. Oh no, you're beautiful anyway with that, that huge butt of yours with all the nice cellulite pockmarks and everything, and drinking that Coca-Cola every day, and it's getting bigger and bigger every day. You're sure, and then the person's happy. But long term, they're going to get sick. It's going to cost them a lot of money, and unfortunately, the way the system is set up, it costs the taxpayers a lot of money. So yeah, think long term and just personal responsibility. You can become healthy. Healthy saves you a lot of money. It saves you a lot of money in the long run. It really does. And that's, I'm not into body positivity. I'm not going to try to like make fun of a person and try to hurt them, make them feel bad because they're out of shape. I'd be happy to tell an out of shape person how to get into shape. It's constructive criticism here. And I give advice, try to sleep 8 hours. Again, only drink water. That'll get rid of all that sugar that you're getting from. Don't eat processed foods. To only eat during short time periods. Eat once a day. Don't eat when you're on a plane. I mean, there's a lot of things. And so anyway, that's enough. Pound that like button. One of these days, this whole type of show will be 5 shows a week. And on another channel, there'll be some, what will the channel be called? Well, we'll see what I know what the channel is going to be called. It's not going to be called Personal Responsibilities in New Counterculture. It's going to have a more attention-grabbing name about some other stuff that I believe in that is considered controversial. But I talk about it because I can talk about whatever I want to. So I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. This is Rob Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, check out the notes section below. And yeah, on that new channel, every show will have one topic, hopefully. So it'll be quick little shows. It'll be a little different. Well, I'm working on it. I'll talk to you guys in the chat right now. See ya. Bye.